And that is a passage from Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Hi, I'm Rebecca Belcher, and I decided to do my speech on Maya Angelou. I chose her because she's a huge inspiration to me. Someone like her, being able to do everything that she's done, simply empowering and inspiring. There's really no other way to say it because she's done so much and she's taught so many people. She's really like this amazing hero from the 20s. But Maya Angelou was born April 14th, 1928, and she was raised in an African American traditional family. Her parents raised her and her brother in St. Louis, Arkansas, but in 1931, unfortunately, her parents divorced, and Maya Angelou and her brother went to go live with their grandmother in Stamps, Arkansas. Now, in those times, Stamps, Arkansas was very racially divided. So, ever since she was young, she's had to deal with the horrible reality of racism and everything that comes with it. But she never let that stop her. When Maya Angelou became a teenager, she won a scholarship to San Francisco's Labor School for dance and drama. And although she dropped out at 14 from San Francisco's Labor School, she went on to become the first African American female cable car conductor in San Francisco, and she did go back eventually and finish high school. A few weeks after graduating high school, she gave birth to a baby boy named Guy. To help support him, she worked waitressing jobs, and she was a cook. She spent many years traveling abroad, going to all over Europe with touring troupes, and she even went to Egypt. Now, while she was abroad, she spent time studying and being in different plays, and she was even a teacher. Her life has been so filled with culture, it's no wonder that she's written so many amazing books and poems that have helped enrich people's lives. During her lifetime, Maya Angelou met some of the most influential people of our history, including Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who actually asked her to be the Northern Coordinator for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Sadly, on her birthday in 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and this left her absolutely mortified. But with the help of her friend, the novelist James Baldwin, she'd become in higher spirits and begin to write her most internationally known book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. In this coming-of-age story, it literally represents how much a person can stand throughout racism and throughout all different traumas of their lives and still become successful and an amazingly caring and loving person. Maya Angelou wrote this story based off of her life, and I believe that's why the book did so well in its record sales and becoming internationally known, that it was based off of her own experiences and things that she went through, to show that even though she's a successful person and she seems almost completely out of reach to normal people, she still went through everything else that some of us have gone through ourselves. So the book is very touching in that sense. Of course, she didn't stop there. Maya Angelou wrote the script and composed the score for the 1972 film Georgia, Georgia. It was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, and it was the first script to be filmed written by an African American woman. She continues to appear on television and in films. She's won 3 Grammys and over 30 honorary degrees. For all that she's been through and all that she writes, Maya Angelou deserves all the success that comes her way, and I'm sure she'll continue to touch people's hearts and feed their souls. At the ripe old age of 85, Maya Angelou is still alive and kicking, and she wrote this small poem on aging. I'm the same person I was back then, a little less hair, a little less chin, a lot less lungs, and much less wind. But ain't I lucky? I can still breathe in. And that has been my speech on Maya Angelou.